Welcome back. In today's video, we're going to delve deeper in the perspective cycle and how the cycle creates our reality. All right, let's take a moment and review what we learned in video 3. Now, we learned how we picked up our paradigms about the world and our judgments of others, and more importantly, of ourselves. What we learned is that our reality is actually only a perception of our reality filtered through our beliefs, whatever those beliefs may be. And my challenge to you was to identify a global belief or a judgment or both, and evaluate how and reflect on how those beliefs have shaped your reality. What did you find? Have you perhaps made some choices in your life that have you avoided opportunities or even jumping into opportunities because of the filter of this belief? Where have your filters of your beliefs actually caused you to ration your passion, or give up your power in your relationships, or view yourself as less than a perfect 10? So at the end of the last video, we actually touched on the beginning of the perspective cycle. Let's continue on. How I see, my perspective shapes my perception, or what I see. Now, what I see impacts what I think, my thoughts that pass through my mind. Makes sense, doesn't it? And those thoughts impact our being in a form of energy and motion called emotion, or what I know. It's more of a mental response. My emotion creates a physical response in my body, or my feelings, or how I feel. It may be elation, excitement, illness, it could be apathy. Now, those feelings then shape what I do, or in other words, my actions. Every action has an equal or greater reaction, or results, or in other words, what I have. Those results then become triggers, stimulus, or even validation for our beliefs, back up at the top. Makes sense, right? Let's test this with a belief. Let's go with the limiting belief of I'm a failure. And that's my perspective, and it shapes my perception. What do I see out there? Well, I'm going to see instances of my failures. And this actually impacts my thoughts. I'm going to start thinking thoughts of I can't, why even bother? And then it will impact my mental response that says, yeah, you're right, I can't, why do I even bother? Then it impacts my body. My body then responds with a lack of energy and apathy. And those feelings then shape what I do, my actions, or inaction. In that case, I may not want to get out of bed. I may perform just to the status quo at work. And then what do? I look at my lack of promotion or my lack of results, and those become triggers or stimulus for what? Oh, it must mean because I'm a failure. And then it reinforces the belief. Incredibly dangerous. These results and personal reality validate and reinforce our beliefs, causing the cycle to repeat and keep us stuck or empowered in our personal reality. Most of us getting stuck in the merry-go-round of our lives, and a lot of the times it ain't so merry. However, if we interrupt any piece of this cycle, what do we have? Well, we have a whole new outlook. And we want that because the negative chains of beliefs that are limiting and disempowering in our lives are actually strapped to our ankles, holding us down, holding us back in a life of effort, burden, struggle. For example, elephants are trained as babies by tying an iron chain around one foot and attaching this iron chain to a stake in the ground. This chain and stake is strong enough to hold the baby elephant. Over a period of time, the full-grown elephant is conditioned to believe that this same iron chain, tied to a small stake in the ground, is strong enough to keep it in place. It could easily pull the stake out of the ground and walk away into freedom. But it doesn't, because it's made a commitment from its babyhood that it is adopted as a continuing truth without testing it. It believes that a small chain and stake in the ground is still stronger than it is as a full-grown, strong beast. One tug on the chain and the release of the stake from the ground would begin the process of breaking the elephant into freedom. Just like the elephant's beliefs about the chain drive the elephant's behavior, our behavior is a product of our beliefs, most of them placed in our subconscious mind before the age of 7, when our brain was just a little sponge, soaking up everything and accepting it all as the truth about us and the world in which we lived. In conclusion, how can we break this chain? Check out some of the other tools in the other videos and how they can impact us in a powerful way. In fact, we can impact any piece of this cycle and we will change our lives. Up next, we're actually going to talk about challenging some of the facts that we know about ourselves. We'll see you there.